Barcelona injuries galore. Everybody panic. Dembele, Jong, Memphis, Kounde, now Araujo too. The numbers continue to grow. Barcelona injuries over the international break. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Good afternoon to all of you culés out there watching. I'm going to try to rein it in, to calm down, to not fully panic. Xavi and the medical staff have done such an excellent job of keeping players fit, healthy, bringing players back from injury. And now you send them off to their international teams and we're dropping like flies. I mean, 5 injuries for Barcelona. Who's managing these national teams? Ronald Koeman? What is going on here? We're going to discuss the injuries, which ones are serious. Again, it's Dembele, Jong, Memphis Depay, Kounde, Araujo. Who's out for how long? We'll get updates on those 5, and we'll take a look at who's left and what kind of starting 11 we might be able to go with for our upcoming fixtures after the international break. All of that and more happening right here on the Undefeated channel. Shake it off, all right? I'm not going to be panicky all episode. I promise. We will turn the page. We'll come out with some kind of positivity here, all right? If you want to be part of the conversation, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can chat with your fellow culés as we catch up on the Barcelona news. We go over all of these injuries and whatever else comes up conversationally. That's what we do here on Wake Up and Barca. Welcome to you all. Let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Okay. Take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It feels a lot like we are dipping back into last season's conditions of having a patchwork Barcelona team due to the number of injuries and illness within the club. So we're going to jump over to Twitter. We're going to take a look at what the latest news is. We'll just start right from the top, okay? Go with Dembele first. And there is a live poll going on right now that Araujo isn't even a part of. I set this up this morning, and we're already adding to more injuries. So which injury concerns you the most? Dembele, Jong, Kounde, or Memphis? Or if it's Araujo, let me know in the chat. We'll keep the conversation going as we get caught up on some of these injuries here. So let's just scroll through. We'll see what the latest on Dembele is. Talk FCB says we've only just started the international break, but it's already produced a full-blown injury crisis at Barca. I don't want to say injury crisis, okay? Particularly, I know I just started off this episode screaming and yelling and panicking, okay? Some of that's for show. It's not nearly as bad as it was last year. And Xavi and Laporta and Alemany, everyone did their part. They did their due diligence to bolster this squad so we have some depth in our lineup so that when these things occur, when we have 5 players injured on an international break, we can still put out a competitive team. So we're going to take a look at what that competitive lineup would look like if we're not going to have Dembele, Jong, Memphis, Kounde, and Araujo available for us. That's fine. We don't need to panic. It's not a big deal. We'll talk about it, okay? Let's see if we can get an update on Dembele, though. Barca Buzz, according to Le Mechanois, I'm sure I pronounced that correctly, dead on, says Dembele did not train today. Felt discomfort in his calf yesterday. He stayed indoor and did cycling. So Dembele came on for France off the bench yesterday after the match, said that there was some discomfort. Not training today. That doesn't seem too serious to me. Rashad Rahman with the same quote here. Let's see if we get any other update. Maybe if I go to latest here, there'll be something different. Just starting at the top. Why would it not scroll? That is... Okay. Don't care about that. We already talked about the list. Okay. Well, Dembele seemingly maybe not that serious. We'll keep an eye on it, of course. Let me actually open up and see where we are with the poll results right now. As of right now, 26% are mostly concerned about Dembele, 11% De Jong, 47% Kounde, 16% with Memphis. And of course, Araujo not even on that list because I created that poll earlier today and he got injured later in the day. The injury bug continues for Barcelona. I'm gonna turn to the chat. I'm gonna see what folks think of just Dembele first. We'll keep the conversation there. All right. We'll talk Kounde next, then we'll go De Jong, then we'll go Memphis, then we'll go Araujo, then we'll get to what a starting 11 might look like. So right off the bat, thoughts on the Dembele injury. What do we think? Ayush is with us. Hello, sir. How we doing? Connor knows soccer as well. Ayush says search Hospital FC. I don't want to, Ayush, but I love you, so I will. This isn't going to be good. I know this is not going to be good. Ooh, not good. We'll go to top, not latest. Well, this isn't, folks. This is not good. Maybe I don't search this. Actually, maybe we stay off of that. Let's jump over to Kounde instead, and we'll see what the latest is on Kounde. I don't want another list of the players. All right, I just want an update on Kounde himself, please. Here we go. Rashad Rahman quoting Fans Javi Miguel. The type of injury which Kounde has suffered usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to recover, but in any case, the final duration of his time off won't be known until more tests are done on Saturday. So Kounde did travel back to Barcelona. He's with the club. He's with the medical staff, which means he is in good hands. But 3 to 4 weeks out without Kounde. What's my hair doing right now? Hair's all over the place too. 3 to 4 weeks out without Kounde. My hair's a mess. Barcelona's team is a mess right now. I don't even want to pull up the calendar. All right. I don't even want to pull it up. I really, really don't. Because I don't want to look at the matches that they're going to miss. It's going to be a lot. Not excited about it. Chris E, how we doing, sir, says, I'm upset that our starting center backs are injured, but this also damages our depth at right back. Yes, indeed. Mendo, hello. Mark Levinson says, they all just faking injury as told by Xavi as they can return early and start preparing. I don't know about that. I did see, let me see, I think I liked it so I can pull it up. I saw a similar thought from Barça Media earlier today. Let me share what they said here. It says, I'm starting to build a theory that many of these Barcelona players are in a way faking or over-exaggerating their injuries to return back to Barcelona. I hope that's true. I hope and pray that Barça Media there is onto something. I know it's just fun speculation, but maybe? Probably not. The thing is, these players have integrity. They want to play for their national teams. They want to support their fellow teammates. They want to earn the win for their country, even in a friendly match. I think a lot of these players still want to play. Could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts, of course. I want to know your opinions on this one. And this, of course, is a wild one, but who knows? Crazier things have happened, of course. We've all seen those sports documentaries with conspiracies and plotting and planning and all of these things. So who knows? Maybe Barcelona pulling a fast one, getting some of their players to, pick up injuries and come back. Who knows? We'll see. Mendo says, geez, just when Memphis was getting into rhythm. I know. No bueno. Ayush says, Araujo is the worst. Who's going to pocket Vinny now? Well, I would say Kounde, except he's out as well. Speaking of Araujo, let's just see how long he's going to be out for. So Dembele missed training, but just due to discomfort. So he might not be out that long. Kounde, they're saying 3 or 4 weeks. Let's see what we get for Araujo. He was injured in the first minute. Terrible. Look at this. I hate that sight. Groin injuries. Groin injuries are always nagging, always lingering. Hate to say it. See here. This is from Barça Buzz, quoting Juan Martí. Says, Araujo will return to Barcelona tomorrow and undergo further medical tests. Uruguay coach Diego Alonso says that he has discomfort in his right leg and that they will talk to Barca and discuss the steps to follow. Oh, discomfort isn't a pull, isn't a tear, isn't an immediate, oh, he's going to be out for a very long time, right? Right? I don't need to fully panic, do I? I'm not panicking, right? I'm relaxed. My face looks relaxed, right? I don't I'm panicking a little bit, folks. I don't know. I wish I could offer some kind of reassurance outside of we have a deep squad, but these are significant names. Araujo, Kounde, Dembele, Jong, Memphis, for me in that order of significance. Ay. Mendo asks, will PK be in the starting 11 for the month of October? Hopefully not. We still have a couple other options, but we're going to go over that. By the end of the episode, we will dabble into what a starting 11 might look like. So we've updated on Dembele, Kounde, Araujo. Let's see if we can get an update on Frenkie de Jong. And after that, we'll move on to Memphis, and then we'll take a look at who's left to piece together a starting 11. Frenkie de Jong left the national team. We'll go back to Rashan Rahman here. Just in, Barcelona begin discussions over a salary adjustment. What is this? We don't need this. Don't care. Don't care about salary adjustments. Don't even want to talk about it. Why? Why is this now? Why Frenkie de Jong salary adjustments? Whatever. While we're here, might as well say it. You can't ignore reality. Just in, Barcelona will begin discussions over a salary adjustment with Frenkie de Jong at the end of the year. There was a pact between Laporta and Frenkie de Jong that if the player stayed, a salary adjustment would be talked about. That's fine. We can talk about it. I mean, he is getting paid, I think at this point, about double what the peers around him are being paid. So, sure. That's fine. I think Frenkie knows. I think everybody around knows you can't get paid twice what your peers are getting paid. He's not Lionel Messi. Anyway, let's see if we can get an injury update. How about that, since all the news is going to be about his contract? I just want some details, please. Frenkie de Jong, precautionary sub. Okay, precautionary sub, not so bad. Let's see if we can get some other details. Also returned to Barcelona. Okay. This is Barca Buzz quoting Javi Miguel here. In principle, Frenkie de Jong's hamstring injury is minor. It is a stretch rather than a muscle tear. That's good news. He could be out 1 to 2 weeks depending on the extent and will undergo further tests on Monday. Okay, so not so bad for de Jong. Dembele looking not so bad. De Jong looking not so bad. Araujo, we'll see. It's up in the air. Kounde might miss the majority of October so far. Let's see about Memphis. And then we'll turn to the chat. We'll get the conversation going before we get to a starting 11 with these injuries. Nope, we need Depay. Problem is, there's the city of Memphis, of course. All right, Barca News around Talk FCB. Oh, again, just it breaks your heart. Breaks your heart to see these pictures. See if we can get some sort of update here. No, nothing. Nobody cares about Memphis. These are all from like 2019 and before. Maybe we just do this. Maybe we just do Memphis Depay. Out for a month. No. I don't know, but that's according to AS though. Right? So that's not very reliable. Let's see if we can get something a little bit more reliable. Ugh. That stinks. A month for Memphis. He was just finding his form. Somebody else mentioned that in the chat already. Man. Ugh. And look at that. There's my buddy Pablo singing his praises. He was doing so well. Memphis was doing so well. So Memphis and Kounde might be out for a month or the better part of. Hopefully Dembele and de Jong will soon return, a week, 2 at the most, or none. Maybe just the precautionary and uncomfortable part of it, they can come back from. And then who am I missing? Araujo. Araujo is probably going to be out for a couple of weeks. That stings. Stings the nostrils. It's frustrating. It's frustrating just as a supporter. You want to be able to put out your best 11. You want to see good football. So it bums me out. It really, really bums me out when we can't see Barcelona in its full glory. Man, I don't know. I'm going to try not to be a negative Nancy about it. It's a bit of a bummer, though. I got to admit. Hopefully, like I said, most of these will be minor. We'll have a majority of the players back. But Dembele, De Jong, Memphis, Araujo, Kounde. It's a list. That's an extensive list. I'm going to turn to the chat. I'm going to get your thoughts. If you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments. What is your reaction right now? How are you feeling? It's okay if you're a bit bummed. I am too. It's part of the process. Okay, we're doing this live, folks. We are processing this in real time. We'll get through it. I promise we'll get through it. Let me turn to the chat. We'll see how everybody else is feeling about what's going on here with all of these injuries. My goodness. Fabrice, how we doing? Says latest on Frankie 1 to 2 weeks out. Memphis 4 weeks out. And that's what we ended up seeing. No good. Irish says Griezmann money also lowered to 25 mil from 40. Yeah, apparently Barcelona are only looking to get now 25 million out of the deal. It was supposed to be if they play him for X amount of time, it's going to be 40 million. Then they started doing all of this nonsense where they're strategically not playing him so that they wouldn't have to pay 40. So now Barca's like, all right, well, let's renegotiate. You pay us 25, this and that, yada, yada. And what did we pay for Antoine Griezmann? Like 120 million, something like that. Thanks, Bartomeu. Thanks a lot. Mark says only Lewandowski is not injured. That's how strong his body is. All the players should follow his routine, keep fit and longevity. Amen to that. These youngsters, young players getting muscle tears. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make much sense at all. While we keep the conversation going, folks, I forgot to say it up front, and I've been trying to make it a habit to do it more often. Please do drop a like if you're enjoying the content. Whether you've been here since day one, you're just finding us, let's go ahead and support the channel. Let's get the algorithm going. Get some eyes on the stream. Drop that thumbs up. Hit the like button. I do appreciate it as we continue the conversation here. Sean Strangeway says, who let Pogba start doing witchcraft again? I think his Mbappe curse got the wrong players. Greg, how we doing? Good to see you in here. Says, that really leaves us weak at right wing. If Rafinha gets injured now, I don't want to think about that. Don't think about that. Don't think about it. Don't say it. Don't think about it. No more injuries. 5 is enough. Okay, we're good. Alucard says, John, bro, we need our center back to be fit. Man, I am worried and angry at FIFA. I'm not happy about it. I'll say I'm not happy about it. I'm feeling that stress as well. So we are processing this together. All right, this is what I mean when I say we support the badge, we support each other. There's going to be bad days like this. We've been riding a wave of positivity really since Xavi took over. There's been some dips, of course, but been mostly positive since Xavi took over. This is our first step backwards, right? So we're in this together, friends. We'll be okay. I promise. I'm panicking too. I'm feeling a little bit sad about it too, but we're in this together. We're going to be okay. It's part of the process, okay? These feelings are natural. Let it out. We'll move forward. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. I promise. Lethabo says, this is not fair, man. How do we win the league when we get these setbacks? Other teams will have setbacks too, Real Madrid included. So it is early on, and maybe we just get this out of the way, even though I am kind of worried that this could be an indication of what it's going to be like around January when players are coming back from the World Cup. They're beaten down, they're tired, they're sore, and then we've got the back half of a long season that's going to include Copa del Rey and Champions League. Little bit worried about that. Okay. I have trust in Xavi. I have trust in the medical staff and managing these players, managing the time. That was one of the huge benefits of Barcelona bolstering their squad over the summer. We now have the depth that we can rotate players. We don't have to have Pedri and Busquets playing every single match. Okay? We got younger and we got more depth. So I'm confident that even with the added strain of a World Cup thrown into the middle of the season, thank you, FIFA, Barcelona are going to be okay. I think we're going to be all right. October might be rough. Just saying. Chris E says, we also have the highest number of national team players in Europe's top 5 leagues with 18. So we will be very reliant on the youth. A good point, Chris. A very good point. I appreciate that. Greg says, we still have at least Eric and Christensen. That is true. Alucard says, this happened at the wrong time, John. We got Inter and Mallorca next. Listen, the month of October is going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts, okay? But we're actually not going to talk too much about October because, let me announce right now, dun, 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 dun. I need some sort of stinger graphic. New announcement on Barcelona's #1 channel, the undefeated mustache. Anyway, that was stupid. Got a new collaboration coming up, folks, which means we are doing a bonus episode of Wake Up and Barca. It's going to be a Saturday episode, and I am having none other than Buga Luis coming to join me. YouTube's very own Buga Luis. Let me go ahead and pull up his channel here. Go on the YouTubes. Should have had this up already. But me and Buga been discussing doing a collaboration for quite some time. And so before he appears on the channel tomorrow, make sure you hop over, subscribe to his channel, maybe leave some comments on his videos. Let him know how excited you are to have him on the show. We're going to be going live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday morning. Me and Buga, we're going to be going over the full October schedule for Barcelona. We're going to be talking about what we need to be concerned about, where we need to get wins, what are the lineups going to look like. Again, rotations are going to be heavy, particularly with these injuries coming up. Come hang out with me and Buga Luis Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications just in case you get the time zones mixed up. All right? Come hang out with us. Bonus episode of Wake Up in Barca. I hope to see you there, my friends. What do we think? Buga Luis coming on the channel. We excited? Does anybody else already watch Buga Luis? This will be a new collaboration, like I said. And then in the future, we'll bring folks together. Buga already dropped the idea of bringing Pablo on because those two have already connected. So me, Buga Luis, Pablo Wolves Blanco, EM Rich, who else? Michael Talks Football, Mukta, of course, Marca, a.k.a. I love you, buddy. So we are growing this channel. The collaborations continue. We are still in talks with some other channels as well. You know who you are if you're watching, but I don't want to put anybody on blast by any means. So collaborations continue. If you have somebody in mind that you would love to see me connect with that I haven't done so yet, let me know down in the comments, and then also go on their channel and let them know. Helps me out. Don't spam anybody, of course, but we're about building the community here, about building the connections. I want to meet culés from all over the world, have good conversation about good football. What we do here on the Undefeated channel. Drop a like, subscribe, notifications, come hang out, all that good stuff. All that good stuff, my friends. Anyway, Alucard says, will you ever use StreamYard so we can join your live stream to share our opinion? I'm not going to do StreamYard. It doesn't let just anybody join. I mean, I set it up through a different streaming software, and then I use Zoom meetings, so I could technically still have people join. One idea I had, let me know your thoughts on this, I might do, once we have membership set up, for members who, like, win a contest every month or qualify in some certain way, or like maybe it's like the members who have the highest chat rate, something like that, get invited onto a monthly conversation where there's like 4 or 5 of us from the Stash Squad. I do want to start incorporating some more community-based content. So we'll get into that, but you don't need StreamYard to do that necessarily. There's lots of ways to get that done. But love the idea. It's on the list. I don't want to say the short list, but it is on the list. Anyway, okay, folks. With these injuries coming up, we need to discuss what is Barcelona. Words. Let me take a drink of water. Words. Anyway, with these injuries to Dembele, De Jong, Memphis Depay, Kounde, Araujo, we need to discuss who's left for Barcelona, who's available to put together out on the pitch to put together a starting 11, who's available for this upcoming month of October that we can rely on. All right, let's take a look at what I think is going to be our best starting 11 here. With the players unavailable, let's go ahead and mark them out, actually. We got Kounde, De Jong, Dembele, Memphis, Araujo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all of them. Go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to just lower the opacity down. Womp, womp, womp. Because they are unavailable. It's a bummer. It's a total bummer. So looking at what I believe is the best 11 that we have for what's left, it ain't too shabby, folks. Okay? We need to get Ansu Fati up to 90 minutes match fitness. Otherwise, that's going to be Ferran Torres. But we got Ansu, Lewandowski, Rafinha. We got Pedri, Gavi, Sergio Busquets. We got Balde, Garcia, Christensen, Bellerin, and Ter Stegen. The problem is, don't have a lot off the bench. Ferran Torres, Kessié, Piqué, Pablo Torre, Alonso, and Jordi Alba. It's not a lot of wiggle room. It's not a lot of flexibility. We can't afford any more injuries. We can't afford any suspensions. And it really limits Xavi in terms of his tactical options, how he wants to line up, how he wants to approach the match. We don't have a lot of options. I mean, you could argue Kessié in there for Gavi or Busquets. You could say Ansu Fati's not 90 minutes match fit yet, so we throw in Ferran Torres instead. But the bench is thin. The bench is very thin, my friends. Taking a look at this lineup, what would you change? What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Let me know. I'm going to turn to the chat, get your thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on replay of this. I don't even want to call it a patchwork, but I'll call it a not A squad of Barcelona. You can't call it a B squad with Ansu Fati, Lewandowski, Pedri, Busquets. It's tough to call it a B squad, but I'll call it a not A squad. What do we think, my friends? What changes would you make to this lineup if you're Xavi? We're starting a match right here, right now. What changes would you make? Let me know. We'll turn to the chat, keep the conversation going. You Stupid says, I saw the voting poll. All those injuries are significant. Frankie is the lowest on the list. And we'll get an update on that poll here in just a few minutes. And good to see you, You Stupid. Good to see you, my man. Alucard says, imagine everyone was faking it. Again, yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Probably not the case. Fingers crossed, but, they're professionals. Probably not the case. Zane, how we doing? Says, it's fine, but not enough against big teams. What are the holes? What are the biggest holes in this squad that you see? What are your thoughts? What areas make you nervous? I'm fine with the front three and the midfield. For me, the defense is where it gets shaky. I don't know about the chemistry of Garcia and Christensen. Throwing in Bellerin as well. I just don't know who's going to step up and be the leader out of that group. You'd think maybe Garcia, but he's more of, to me, my perspective, more of that individual lead by example type, not necessarily that vocal leader that's going to bring everybody together and make sure this team, doesn't fall apart during this time. I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe it's going to be Ter Stegen behind that back four. But that's really it for me. I'm cool with our starting 11 from the forwards to the midfield. The defense, I get a little bit nervy. But at the end of the day, this is why we made the signings that we did. This is why we bolstered the club in the way that we did. So here we are, folks. Here we are. Again, we will be discussing these injuries, but mostly focused on the October schedule. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Going to be here live on the Undefeated channel with Buga Luis. Again, go over, subscribe to his channel, leave some comments on his videos. Let him know you're excited to have him here on the Undefeated channel, talking with your buddy, Mustache John. What else we got, folks? I'll turn the chat one more time, see what other questions we have, what other comments you have about this Barcelona injury crisis. Javier says Garcia is the leader. I hope so. I hope so. He's got the grit and the tenacity. And like I said, he leads by example. I just don't know what the conversations are like down on the pitch. Greg says, also, our only other option for the front three is Torres, which isn't ideal. Amen to that. And it's probably going to be a case where Ferran Torres gets the start and Ansu Fati comes on later, gets like 30, 40 minutes of play, something like that, because he's not 90 minutes match fit yet. So we are getting there. We're getting there. You Stupid says, hopefully Ansu and Rafinha play out of their minds and Dembele is okay too. His injury wasn't as bad as well. Here's the thing. We could, maybe, let's just say optimistically that Araujo's injury isn't that bad, that Dembele's injury isn't that bad. And if I bring them back to life, then we slide out Christensen probably, bring in Araujo, or Araujo goes to right back and Christensen stays at center back. That's a possibility. And then it would probably just be Dembele coming on for Rafinha. But I would say even if Dembele is available, if he's not fully match fit, I'd probably keep Rafinha in there. Okay? But even with just two of those five players coming back, Araujo and Dembele, just two of the five coming back, we already look significantly better. Because we have at either Rafinha or Dembele coming off the bench, and we can slide in one of our starting center backs at least. So listen, it's not that bad, okay? Right off the bat, 5 injuries sounds terrible. Yes, I panicked at the beginning of this episode, but if you look at who's available now, and you optimistically say that Araujo returns in a week, that Dembele returns in a week, then we're doing okay. Of course we're going to miss Kounde. Of course we're going to miss De Jong. We will also miss Memphis. Some of you might not recognize that, but we will miss Memphis. But for as it stands, if just a couple of these injuries can turn into minor strains that turn into no more than a week out, then all of a sudden Barcelona looking in less dire situation than what was initially anticipated. So again, take a deep breath, relax, everything's going to be okay. Come hang out with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, live Barcelona news. We support the badge, we support each other. That's what we do here, my friends. All right. One more time, we are going to do a bonus episode of Wake Up in Barca tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out with me and Buga Luis as we go over the October schedule. And of course, we'll be factoring the influence of these injuries. Craziness. But all that's going to be happening. So, my goodness. Anyway, it's good to see everybody who participated in the chat. If you did not do so, maybe next time. All right. This is your personal invitation to come hang out next time and participate in the chat. All right. I hope to see you all tomorrow, 10 a.m. Me and Buga Luis going over October schedule. That's it. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Positive interactions, high fives, and hugs for whoever wants them. Go out and do positive things, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.